Hello, I'm Joanna White, Communications Officer at the Organic Agriculture Centre of Canada, Dalhousie University. Thank you for your interest in Canadian organic research needs and priorities assessment process, and for joining me today for an overview and the instructions on how to participate. Let's jump right in. If you haven't already done so, you can visit the OACC website at dal.ca/OACC to download the files that I will be referencing today and that we're using to provide guidance and consistency in gathering organic research needs from across the country. Should you wish to share these forms or use them to complete a research priorities assessment with a group in your region, you are welcome to download and share the files. These forms are also available in French at oacc.info. If you're participating in this research needs and priorities assessment process, you should have a package of papers in front of you. This first page provides some background on the process, much of which OACC's director, Andy Hammermeister, has already discussed in his video. Andy's video is also available on the OACC website, and I encourage you to watch it to provide some additional insight and context into this process. This research needs and prioritization process is led by the Organic Value Chain Roundtable's Research Needs Task Force. We at OACC are collecting and compiling this information. This process will help to prioritize and identify where research funding should be directed and is meant to inform the National Organic Science Cluster Program. It can also be used to identify provincial or regional research priorities, as well as those of special interest or commodity groups, or even specific needs within a business. We're looking for the participation of all organic stakeholders or anyone interested in or involved in Canada's organic sector. We encourage groups to engage in this process. While we invite and welcome input from individuals, we find the process of prioritizing research to be most effective when working in groups with similar fields of interest. This provides opportunities for in-depth discussions and considerations before prioritizing future research directions. The information that you submit will be compiled along with results from across the country. It is important that you take the time to have your say, and we do thank you for taking the time to do so. Now let's get right to the nitty-gritty of the research prioritization and completing the forms in front of you. As we move through the document, I'll be breaking things down into a step-by-step process and going through the forms that we're asking you to complete. This information is also outlined on the second page of your document, should you wish to refer to it as we move through this exercise. To begin, gather together with a group of your peers. If your group is large and has diverse interests, we recommend that you break into smaller groups that focus on a particular subject area. For example, a prairie grains focus group might break into subgroups focused on wheat, barley, or pulses, or alternatively into groups focused on soil zones. We suggest the group size does not exceed 10 people. This allows for a diversity of thoughts while still allowing everyone at the table to contribute to the discussion. As we move through the documents, please note that in groups that had broken into smaller subgroups, we ask each subgroup to complete these forms independently. The first thing we ask is for each group to nominate a note taker. This person will be in charge of recording your brainstorming and top 5 priorities. Please choose someone who can write legibly and who can capture thoughts well. The first job of the note taker is to complete the submitter information sheet to provide us with some information about the people contributing to the priorities being put forth. Please begin by recording the date and location of the research assessment process in which you are participating. Please provide a contact person who can provide any answers to any questions we might have as we compile and record this information. We suggest that this contact person be the note taker of the group. Let us know if you're completing this as an individual or if you're having group discussions to put forward your priorities. Then have each member identify the category that best suits them. While people may find they fit in more than one category, please be sure that each group member is counted only once. This information may be used to weigh or categorize the information when compiled. In some instances, a smaller group representing a larger organization may complete this process on behalf of that larger organization. If this is the case, please complete this section to let us know more about the organization you represent. Now that we have those details looked after, it's time to start turning your minds towards what research is needed as the Canadian organic sector moves forward. This is where you will likely spend the bulk of the time that you have dedicated to this research needs assessment process. Take some time within your group to brainstorm around this main question. What research is needed to support the growth and evolution of the organic sector in your province, in your region, or in Canada as a whole? Please make sure that everyone in the group has a chance to contribute to the conversation. Take this opportunity to let the ideas flow. There is no need to prioritize as you go. If you are facilitating a session, we have found that it's best to let groups work undisturbed through the brainstorming and prioritization process. A prompt with about 20 minutes remaining may be welcome to ensure that each group has time to move from brainstorming to prioritizing. As you brainstorm, we ask that the note taker capture the ideas on these pages in your package. This will both provide you with a list to revisit as you identify your priorities, and will also be returned to us at the OACC to provide some additional ideas and insights. Once everyone at the table has had a chance to have a say, move on from brainstorming to identifying your top 5 research needs. These are the items that will flow into our compilation of priorities, so please make sure that you allow enough time after brainstorming to prioritize and to provide the requested information for each priority question. Look back at your brainstorming list and vote or prioritize within your group to narrow down the list of research questions to a maximum of 5. You need only identify the top 5 questions. There's no need to rank within this top 5. Let's quickly walk through the information that we're asking you to provide for each of the identified research question priorities. This is the table that we're asking you to complete for each of the top 5 research priorities that you've identified. You will find 5 copies of this table in your package. A reminder that, even though these tables are numbered 1 to 5, there is no need to rank or order your top 5. We have designed this form with an aim at providing lots of information that can be used to best capture and categorize the research needs. Let's dive in for a quick overview of the information that you're being asked to fill in for each question. The first cell on the table asks you to provide a research question. Here we're looking for a clear and simple question that you would like to see answered with research. Perhaps your brainstorming has identified problems that you would like to see addressed or potential opportunities that could be captured. Frame these brainstormed ideas into questions, keeping in mind what the end goals of the research would be. The research question should help to guide researchers in formulating projects that can work toward providing an answer to the question. While we want the question to be clear and simple, please do provide any details that are needed to define the relevance or scope of the question, such as the region, the system, the crop or animal or process, etc. Please focus on questions that need to be addressed with research, not extension. We've provided a couple of examples in your packages. Let's take a quick look at them as they can help to show the level of detail and clarity that we're looking for. One is an abstract question about growing organic potatoes on Mars, admittedly formed shortly after I watched the movie The Martian. And the other is a more grounded question that may indeed be a valid research priority. Please refer to these examples as you complete these forms for your top 5 research questions, as they can help to provide some idea of the context and concise nature of the questions we're asking. Please provide some additional keywords or phrases to describe your research question. Please try to use additional descriptive words that have not already been used in the research question. This will help us to further categorize and define your priority research question. Again, please refer to the examples to guide you. Next, we ask you to please provide some justification of why you feel this research question is a priority. Explain potential impacts on production, the environment, markets, the organic sector, or any other potential impacts or other bits of important information that come to mind. This is also a place where you can provide any additional details that you wish to include. Again, the examples included in your package can provide some guidance. Now we're on to the final section. This section is a series of checkboxes to complete. This is meant to be done quickly, so please do not feel the need to debate which category is best. If in any case that your research question does not fit into a provided category, please check Other and provide additional details in the space provided. Alternatively, if more than one selection may apply in each section, please select multiple boxes. The first set of boxes asks about the scope of potential impact of the research, ranging from wide to more localized impacts. The next set of boxes asks more specifically about who the research is targeted towards, ranging from narrow targets to broader. Next, we look at the type of research. Here, think about how the research would be conducted or who would lead it. We provided options for producer-led, business-led, so perhaps processor or input supplier, or researcher-led. If you think that the research would follow another model, please provide details. Next, we look at where the research will be conducted. If you choose Research Station, please indicate whether you think the work would be done at a university, an Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada Research and Development Centre, or elsewhere. Next, on to funding. Government funding agencies tend to require matching funding from non-governmental sources. Please indicate whether you feel that non-governmental matching funding partners for the proposed research are either not easily identified, likely, or have been identified by your group. If you have identified a partner, please provide this information. If you do not know whether the research could receive non-governmental support, please select Uncertain. And finally, please provide some information on the region where you feel the research should take place. Once you've completed these forms for all 5 of your top priority questions, please submit your priorities to us at the OACC by the end of February 2017. You can submit your priorities to me, Joanna, by mail or email at these addresses. I want to once again say thank you for contributing to the identification of Canadian organic research priorities. Your input truly is very much appreciated. And finally, if you have any questions or comments as you complete the assessment process, please do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you again, and happy prioritizing.